Hey, Squeetle coming at you with a tactics talk. Loaded into Tundra in my Type 5 Japanese Tier 10 heavy tank. You know, sometimes you just got to plod along until you win. You just got to get her done. So we're going to call this one Get Her Done. Two basic choices on Tundra. Up to the hill, usually the fast tanks, sometimes heavies go help, or over here to this brawling zone on the west side. The brawling zone on the west side is fairly isolated. You can protect yourself from arty. You will note that we don't have any arty, which is going to help me obviously on this with this tank. The problem with over here is if you get stuck and stalled, you can be more or less out of the fight. You may fight 4 or 5, 2 or 3, whatever it is, the tanks that they send, but it's easy to get stuck over there. And you'll note that we'll get that situation happen to us just a little bit over here. Type 5 takes forever to get to the battle. I'm going to cut across here, see if I can get a shot. IS-7 avails of me of that and lets me have that shot. You can see that I'm using the standard gun on the Type 5. I had not unlocked the new gun yet, which is all HE. This gun has some pretty good HE, but it's nowhere near the new 15 centimeter or 152, whichever it is. You can see we got quite a few tanks stacked up over here. 2 of their tier 10s or 3 of their tier 10s are over here, to include the T-62A. And I snapped the IS-7 on the roof. So I'm putting that great Type 5 armor forward using the HE on hold down guys. If you're going to hit heavily armored sections of hold down tanks like an IS-7, you have to expect double-digit damage as opposed to triple-digit. The new larger gun will do more, but you got to work with what you've got. I do carry 15 gold AP rounds in this tank, although the pen on the gold AP round is not amazing. So I'm going to take this opportunity to get her done. I have a hugely heavily armed tank. We've got a T-62A there that's bothering us, so let's just go get rid of him. Push right into him. IS-7, where did he go? Does not appear to be there anymore. So we've got 2 tanks, the 7201K and the 103. Still firing my HE. I'm going to come around here, blast him right in the mantlet, set him on fire somehow. Don't ask me how, whether that blast went down onto his deck. Probably that blast went down onto his front deck and into the interior of his tank because of that rear mounted turret. That could happen right there. And now we're just going to play peek-a-boom here on this corner. Me and GravTech trying to work together. I shoot right in the mantlet with the shot and it does nothing. Now we'll go to the AP. So I'm going to try to a couple times get into his hatch on the top because he's just showing the hatch. And what I want to avoid is driving sideways so far out that the front of my tank is right there for him to shoot straight into my side. So I'm trying to work with GravTech here. It's not easy because these 2 tanks, and I'll miss that shot that I want. He's kind of a side scrape backup tank, and I'm kind of a straightforward tank, and that was a nice job on his part to get in there and take him out. And you can see that the fight is fairly even. The IS-7 has showed up over on the side there. Once again, I try that same shot that I got so much damage on the last one, but it just gives me 53. Heavily armored turret, so not really going to do a whole bunch there. Switch back to HE. Can't quite get those little shots that I want in there. There we go, that's much better. Another shot down onto his deck. And you see he's trying to side scrape there and I'm trying to poke out, so it's just not really the best idea. So he's going to take that shot. 7201 I just fired, so I'm going to go ahead and come over and across here. Get her done, right? Get this big beast in his armor forward and just give that 7201 something to think about. If I had it to do again, I'd have tried to get in the way and protect our 7201. Take him out finally. Now I'm going to back up. So I got 2 choices at this point. Head back up to the north. You can see that we've really started to lose. There's only 3 of us left. Or push out here. Pushing out here into the open doesn't seem like a great idea to me. We've got these guys who can flex off the hill. Where are the 2 RHMs at this point? Both of them can pen me with gold. If they get on 2 different positions and coming from 2 different sides, I could be in trouble. So getting out in this big flat open area and trying to drive up into them was not that appealing to me. So I'm just going to back up behind this rock And thank goodness, because there's one of the RHMs. So I've got to try to maneuver this beast as best I can, protect myself from that RHM. I certainly don't want to bring my side out to him. And at this point, I've got to preserve as many hit points as possible based on how many tanks they have left. So we'll just pop out here. I know my HE can hurt this guy pretty bad. Oh, he popped at the wrong time, and I got a good snapshot, and he bounces. So that's good. Excellent. He's down to a one-shot. Now I'm just going to back out of here. They know I'm over here. We are getting pushed towards the cap a little bit. So I'm going to come back to where I can support the Ferdinand and to some extent the Yudes. And I can fight on this back end right here, protecting myself with this ridge, turning around to take anyone that comes behind me, and if they need to come at me, they've got to come up over the ridge or around this way. So over here is a pretty good spot for me to fight. I can help the Ferdinand and protect myself to a large extent. Alright, great. There's the defender. So if I can get some HE on him, I can probably hurt him or take him out. It looks like he's still down low, so he hasn't come up to the cap yet. I'm not going to get a shot on him, so I'm going to go take a look around this corner, because they're going to be looking to come at me from two directions, which is the best way they have to take me out. Ah, there we go. There's one of them. Come in here and see if I can get a shot on him. He's probably not going to poke. It'd be very unusual if he poked right there. Obviously we've lost the Yudes, and now we've got a guy in the cap. Alright, there's the defender. See if I can just take a little piece of him. I got a good snapshot. Oh, darn. That's too bad, but they definitely know where I am. And I sort of should have known that was going to happen. Get shot twice. Now I've got to just push forward because I can't back into the RHMs and take shots from every direction. In addition, that Skoda has exposed himself a bit, so maybe I can just pop him and kill him. Oh, jeez. No pin. I'll turn my front armor to the defender. Because the Skoda was running, I assumed that he was out of shots. So I had a moment to go ahead and deal with the defender. Now the defender is going to have less chance of pinning me than these guys are, so I have decided to go after them. We're going to get her done. I have bad choices all around. There we go. So we get a nice pin. I'm going to back up a little bit here, trying to minimize the amount of shots the defender has on me. I'm just kind of wiggling. I want to need to survive this RHM. There we go. Take him out. And now turn faster, faster. Hoping he doesn't have a shot. There we go. He shoots at the Ferdinand, thankfully. But I was at 561 on hit points, so I would have survived that unless he had a very high roll. Come up here. In fact, I'm not sure. That's pretty close to the limit to what he could high roll, so. He takes out the Ferdinand. Looking for a shot right there. Probably not the greatest idea on my part. Had he had a shot right in there. Let's move up so I can get this on him. There we go. Had he had a shot through that little sliver, he may have put one through my side. And he may not have been reloaded. So we're just getting her done. Using the armor. Just kind of pointing at him. Just doing what I got to do. There we go. And we're just right through there, and we'll take him down. So ends up being 3,400. Not an amazing damage game for a tier 10 by any means. 5 kills. But I headed over here, fought their heavies, and then when I cleaned that up, flexing back up here towards the north and getting her done. Just use that armor on that tank. I got out there, started baiting shots, getting shot at, bouncing, and that's what that tank is for. Realized if they'd had Artie, I'd have been much more cagey. I wouldn't have come around that corner with Artie. I'd have had to hide up here a little bit more. But there you have it. Sometimes in those big heavies, you just got to get her done.